Yeah, you know what you were saying about like how they remember like the relationships of like the sweet things that happen, blah blah, and they'd sort of blow it up to be really positive. I just think that's a general like if you think back to your relationships, like I tend to remember even no matter how shit at the time it was like when things were going bad, I won't tend to remember those times. I'll tend to look at like pictures and stuff and think of like the highlight reels.
It's called nostalgia.
Yeah, like I just feel like, but I just think that that's a natural reaction to most of like. I just think that's the human brain is just kind of like, oh,
it depends on your heritage, right? So for us, we come from slavery, so we didn't look back at the past and go, oh man.
But it taught you to be good. Like,
what a great time it was. Damn, oh shucks, I missed it. Damn it, grandma. Depends, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay.
It depends.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, like. Both my exes are assholes. No, I'm joking. They're amazing people, and they're assholes at the same time. They're both.
Yeah.
I'm
like, but when you think back to your relationship, do you think of them in a positive? Like, do you?
Depends on my mood. If I'm horny, I think about the titties. I think, oh man, the titties. Oh man, they're so fluffy. They're like little clouds, little meat clouds. Do you know what I mean? But if I'm in a bad mood, I'm like...
Now I know where the film title, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, came in. If Nick was getting horny when he said that, I do it.
If sometimes, do you know what I mean? It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, my friend was murdered, and I'm like, who can I talk to about this? This is something I could talk to her about. But then other times, there might be something like... there's certain things I can chat to you about where I couldn't chat to her about it, because she'll just kick off. Yeah. Like, if it's like feminist type stuff. So it just depends. It's pros and cons of both.
I don't know. For me, I feel like I tend to always focus on the positives, but then I feel like just naturally my personality is kind of like the fixer-upper side. I look at the good side of things and never tend to.
I'm normally quite balanced. I know I'm a bit mad, but I'm normally like, do you know what I mean? But like I say, it's nostalgia. And when you think of the word nostalgia, do you think good things or bad things?
You think it just makes sure your head will go in the clouds a little bit.
Right, you think positive things, right? But you know what? Nostalgia comes from a German word, and the original meaning of the word is pain. So nostalgia actually means painful memories.
Yeah.
But over years, it's been changed to mean positive things. So people now look back of like a romanticized nostalgia when the original meaning of the word wasn't romantic at all. Yeah. It was meant to be painful memories. Do you know what I mean?
That's just characteristic of our society now, though.
100%.
Like, fucking, you type anything on Twitter, you'll piss off someone.
100%.
Like, so now everybody's all about positivity and good vibes.
It's not realistic. Some of the stuff that women expect from men is not realistic. It just it isn't. So obviously, you know that guy Kevin Samuels that was like a YouTuber, he used to like dating YouTube.
I feel like I've heard his.
I think I showed you stuff. But anyway, he used to do this thing where he used to ask girls like,
just because I needed so much help with dating, and Nick sent me YouTube channels and the like. Do you know what I mean?
No, but he used to do this thing where he'd ask women like, where do you want to live? What kind of lifestyle do you want? Blah 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 blah. And it's an interesting test. And I've done this with a couple of women in my life that like I'm talking like family members and stuff like that, right? So not girls that I've been dating necessarily. And been like, cool, how many kids do you want? What kind of area do you want to live in? What kind of car would you have to drive? Blah, blah, blah. And I've gone to the least materialistic women in my family. The least materialistic. And they've given me an area they want to live in. They've given me the kind of house and the number of kids and the kind of car and whatever. And we've done the calculations. Do they want to travel? You know, all this different stuff.
Yeah.
And we've looked at it and I've gone, you said you're not materialistic. No. You're not interested in money. No. You've described about a £350,000 a year lifestyle.
Even the ones that were like
the ones that say I'm not materialistic, they don't realize they're doing it because when they dream, they don't dream. Every time a man has a dream, he wakes up and the world slaps him back down to reality. Whereas with a lot of the women I know, when they dream, they wake up and the world is like, "How was your dream? How was it? Let's go and get this dream." It's not like it's so they set themselves up for failure with all this overly positive stuff. A lot of these people are going to struggle mentally later on because they're going to come to realize that a lot of these dreams are not going to happen.
Yeah, but I find it hard though, because when you're talking about a dream, like you're meant to.
No, but I'm not saying tell me your dream life. I said to them, tell me realistically, right? For you to get mad, I'm not saying tell me your dream life.
Yeah, but then
being a millionaire, but like really, but I'm saying you would, with you, right? You know the car that you drive right now.
Yeah.
Have you got an idea of what your next car is?
I haven't even thought that far ahead, to be honest.
Thank you.
Like, I
There you go.
actually haven't. Yeah.
There you go. And if you think that far ahead, I bet it wouldn't be something like a Tesla or something. There would probably be like a car that's like a bit of a level up from your car.
Yeah.
And then there'll be another level up from that, and then the Tesla.
Do you know what?
Do you know what I mean? Like you think in stages.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the women that I know just leap.
Yeah.
They take huge, massive leaps. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't necessarily go in stages.
Yeah. I mean, a few years ago, I did dream about getting a Tesla, you know. I wouldn't mind a Tesla.
I can see you in a Tesla. I can see you.
I was thinking that was like future.
See, that's what I mean.
I wasn't like, oh yeah, in 3 years I'll have a Tesla. I was like, oh, maybe when I'm like 40 something or 50, I'll have a Tesla.
That's exactly what I mean.
So like, yeah, I do get what you mean. But then how would you have felt if you asked her like, you know, what's your realistic lifestyle? She turned around and she was like, council house, you know, 7 kids, and then, like, would that...
First of all, very disrespectful to women in my family. Second,
I've never met them. I'm so sorry.
I'm joking. No, but the thing is, you control your own life to a certain degree.
I'm never going to be able to meet them now. Oh
It's
no,
great.
I can't.
It's great. They'll bully the shit out of you. But it's, you know, you have to be realistic. Do you know what I mean? And you can look at your life where you are right now. For example, like if I show you that body, and I say, right, Dom, you're my PT. I want that in 6 months.
Yeah.
What would you say to me?
I would say that's not possible.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, mate.
That's the body of a guy who's got
that's
like
5-10 years.
Yeah,
minimum.
he's got like a 6 or 8 pack, huge fucking chest, legs are massive. So I'm just because they can't see it.
So fuck them.
Yeah. Fucking huge guy who's I think he's probably taking something as well.
He could be, definitely. I'll follow him in it. I'll show
but
you.
Yeah, I get your point.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not 6 months
Whereas when a lot of the women that I know say stuff, nobody around them, and I don't know how much.
Nobody tells them like.
But I don't know how much some of the women that they're around genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know how much that's an element of like they don't know that it's unrealistic to then tell them that's probably not realistic. Do you know what I mean? But so when I say like some of the stuff they want is not realistic, I'm talking about the money. I'm talking about so every time Kevin Samuels used to do his videos, the women would all say roughly the same thing, right? I want this, I want that, blah blah. And so he would say that's like a 350, 400 grand. What you've described. Let's say the girl says, I want to live in Richmond. I want 3 kids. I want a 4-bedroom house, semi-detached, 2 cars, blah blah blah. So you're looking at it again. That's 4-bedroom, semi-detached house in Richmond is like £4 million.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So you need to meet a guy who's making
a shit ton of money, or you need to make it yourself.
700,000. Well, he used to say I wouldn't ask this, but because he's American and he's Christian, he used to ask what percentage of household bills do you want to be responsible for, and a lot of them would say none. And I was really surprised by that. But they're black and American and really Christians. They're different. But it's like you have to find a man who makes £800,000 to live that kind of lifestyle. Yeah. And then he would say, how many men do you know who make £800,000? And they would go, oh, I'm around these men all the time. They're really successful. And he would go, who? What do they do? And they would be like, oh, they do engineering. They do tech support. And he'd be like, that's not true. They do not make that kind of that. They do not make anywhere near. They're bullshitting. Yeah. They've talked themselves into a corner and then they're going to lie. And then they go, oh, well, you know, I've got rappers in my DMs. And then he goes, okay, cool. That rapper's in 100 women's DMs. Assuming he's going to marry one, he has to pick one.
And it has to be a decent rapper as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. For sure. For sure. The rappers aren't in their DMs. But I'm just saying, it's not realistic. And then when he says, there's not that many of these men, right? I've spoken to hundreds of women. There's only 20 houses up on the hill. Hundreds of women want these 20 houses. And they all say, well, it's going to be me. They all say that.
Yeah. It's only,
so 780 of you are going to be... And that's where, if they go and get with a guy who can't afford that, they're then looking at him going, ugh.
Yeah, it's just kind
of
just not my idea.
You're not really.
I can't live what I want to live.
Yeah, a lot of these girls look at their men like, you're holding me back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I could be doing the man thing, but you're holding me back.
Yeah.
So that's where that's what I mean when I say not realistic.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't have anything to add to that. I feel like
it's not my problem though, is it?